This video is brought to you by Squarespace.
I'm on my way now.
So we've been in Greece now for about 2 months, Greek island hopping, having an absolute blast. But if there's anything that we found was like a reoccurring trend, it was that Greeks on the island told us Athens isn't safe.
And we have been here for about a week now. We're spending a couple of weeks here, so we will be exploring Athens and trying to decide, is it safe? And maybe along the way we'll give you a few tips as well. So we've actually spent a lot of time in the city in the past. We've been here a couple years ago and then a few years before that. So we are definitely familiar with Athens. And one thing I think you're gonna find if you start doing research, maybe it's your first time coming to Greece and you're planning on flying into Athens, you're gonna start doing some research. You're probably gonna read comments from people saying, skip Athens, just go to the islands, don't spend any time here. But honestly, we're really big fans of this city. But I guess the big question is, has it changed and is it a lot more dangerous than it used to be?
So I'm sure you guys are seeing some of the buildings here. And this is kind of the charm of Athens. You'll see a lot of graffiti, but then there's nice condos and nice neighborhoods around as well. The neighborhood we are in, I don't know if we can pronounce it.
I think it's called Keramikos?
Keramikos. I thought I heard a Greek say like Keramikos, and now correct me if I am wrong, it's probably incorrect. But this is one of the things we really like about Athens. There's all these different neighborhoods. We're gonna take you through some of them today. Some are very touristy, some are not touristy at all. I think some people might not stay in this neighborhood, but we're told it's an up and coming place here in Athens. You guys will see here, like there's these rundown buildings, you got these kind of steel fences, but over this way there's kind of a beautiful building, and this one kind of has actual like art on it. So it's interesting how they do that.
Yeah, you're gonna find quite a mix. One thing we've heard about this neighborhood is that it's in the process of gentrifying, and it's changed a lot in the last 2 or so years. There's a lot of restaurants and things popping up, a lot of rentals, like you can find apartments here like we did, we were staying in this neighborhood. So it's a bit of a mix right now, and I think if you were looking up apartments here, you're probably gonna read some reviews that say like during the day it's really nice, but it starts to feel sketchy during the nighttime, and that's pretty typical for Athens. So we are here crossing the street, or at least attempting to cross the street, and I would say for a city where a lot of people walk that is very, very pedestrian oriented, it's not very pedestrian friendly. I find the lights aren't very, like, they don't necessarily work together, so we gotta cross one way. Now we're waiting, oh, we got a green light.
Now we can go.
Yeah, so you might end up spending a lot of time at the lights just waiting for them to change. But if you are crossing at a crosswalk that doesn't have any lights, nobody is going to stop for you, so be prepared for that. You have to be really, really careful when crossing the street. We find a lot of people are on their cell phones when they're driving, which is really weird for us being from North America. I think pretty much everywhere in Canada, probably in the United States as well, it's very much illegal to drive and be on your cell phone. So here it seems to be pretty common.
By the way, if you guys are wondering who we are, my name is Trevor and this is Anna. We're the Delightful Travelers. Welcome to the channel if you happen to be new. If you're not new, it's great to see all you guys again. I hope you're excited. We're back in a big city. I know we are after all the islands. You can see we actually have a train coming here.
So one of the things to know about Athens, probably the thing to be most concerned about when you're coming to Athens, is pickpockets. Definitely as a tourist, that's the biggest concern in terms of safety. So other than really crowded places, public transport is probably one of the main culprits in terms of where you need to be really, really protective of your stuff and worry about pickpockets. So always keep your bag in front of you. We will get into that later in the video, but maybe some tips and some bag suggestions for what you might want to bring with you to Athens.
It's funny, now we're just passing kind of some vendors in this kind of park. It's pretty beautiful here.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure what this area is called. We walked down here the other day. It's pretty central. I think on one side you have one of the parks, like with all the ruins and stuff in there. You probably have to pay to go in there, but then there's just this nice little pedestrian walkway here with like souvenirs and stuff.
Yeah, look, I'll show you guys. Like there's some of this jewelry here. You got kind of leather goods. This way is all kinds of things to buy, and this is like a Tuesday.
Yeah, this is definitely more of the more touristy area for sure.
One of the things we love about this city is you can be in kind of a neighborhood that looks like you shouldn't be there because it's not safe, and then you turn the corner and you see this kind of thing. There's like ancient ruins, look right here below me, kind of just there in the middle of the city. See anything interesting?
It's all interesting. Like you were just saying, you know, you're walking around, you look down and you see an ancient city below you. And also, 90% of the time when you're walking, you look up and you can see the Acropolis up there just looming above you.
Before we keep exploring Athens, we just wanted to say a huge thanks to Squarespace, our longtime partner, for being a sponsor once again.
We of course use Squarespace to build our clients' websites and to build our own website, but do you know you can build your own website using Squarespace?
Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform tool that helps you stand out and succeed online. A new addition is Squarespace Blueprint AI, their new guided design system which allows you to create a completely personalized website. After a few questions about your brand, Squarespace can transform this basic information to help build your new website. It will be completely tailored to your brand or business and optimized for every device, including desktop and mobile.
Squarespace also has integrated SEO tools. Every Squarespace website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, auto-generated sitemap, and more, which means you'll show up more often to more people.
Are you ready to build your own website? Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/delightfultravelers for 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website.
And as always, a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and supporting creators like us.
Man, you just turn the corner here and you get a whole new world. Like, look at this. We got shops here. It's like kind of a touristy street. There's a bit of everything. That seems to be sneaker street so far, so if we need some sneakers, we can do that.
There's some sneakers here, but also a lot of, I would say, just souvenir shopping as well.
Jewelry, lots of things like that. We'll take you guys with us as we just kind of walk and show you some of Athens. So it's not too crowded here at the moment, but again, lots of sneakers. So this is where we are. I'm so confused. It's like a maze here.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. Like, we are often on that street over there, which is where we're heading off to in a second. But we were just like on a side street and never walked down that way.
Yeah, there's so much to see in the city.
You never run out of things to do.
Even for a Tuesday, like this is a Tuesday midday. There's quite a few people here.
There are a lot of people around.
November, yeah. You guys might be wondering the name of that square. It's Monastiraki. So it's one of the most popular squares, some of the busier squares in the city. But now we're just walking up to the main road here, and you can see it's a little more chaotic, lots of traffic, vendors everywhere. So you guys tell me. I mean, do you feel safe? Would you feel safe in this city? There's a lot going on. So right now we're over on one of the busier walking streets. It's called Ermou, I believe, but there's lots here. Lots going on.
Yeah, this is probably the main shopping street in the city, I would say. There are loads of people here, loads of shopping, all of the things. Definitely a busy street, so you need to be cognizant, again, of your stuff.
Yeah, again, I'm going to say this is a Tuesday, and on the weekends, this is absolute chaos here. Like, there are a ton of people that usually arrive here, but now I'm looking up the street, and well, you guys are about to see just how many folks are on the street.
Well, we're here on this busy shopping street. It might be a good time to talk about bags and the type of bag you might want to have with you when you are traveling. I actually prefer to have one bag that I use all year long that'll work in any situation, whether it be in a city, at home in Canada, in the Dominican Republic where we spend a lot of time. And I generally prefer like a sling type thing that I can put right in front of me. It doesn't really have any like protective things. It's not a travel pack safe like travel bag. Like, it doesn't have any of the little bells and whistles or anything, but I like that I can just keep it right here. It's also great in airports. They don't usually consider this a personal item, so I can just have it here with like my passport and my phone and my boarding pass really close to me, and no one really says anything about it. But you can definitely get like some really, really fancy like travel bags. That I used to have one. I think it was actually by the label Pack Safe, and they have all the things like you can zipper things closed and they can lock, and it's great for places like this where you don't really have to think about your bag. You could have it behind you and no one can get into it because you could have it locked. One thing I do like about this bag though is that I can do this. So if I'm sitting at a table, I can like wrap it around a leg or like part of the table, and no one can just grab it away from me. I think what we will do, because we have so many different bag suggestions for you, we'll put some links in the description below if you're interested in like looking at different types of bags that you might want when you're coming here.
We just found some street performers here. This is one of our favorite things when we're in big cities. Some of the music that you hear is absolutely incredible. There's a whole bunch of live performers, but this is one of those areas where you just got to be a little bit careful because most people are distracted watching the performers, and then of course that's when the pickpockets come in, and they kind of like, you know, when you're behind here, they'll get your phones. You got to watch your bags, so you got to be really careful, especially if you have a wallet in your back pocket. Don't do that. Put your bag on the front for sure, because that is one of the spots where you'll get pickpocketed the most. Now, I'm sure you guys are watching this video and thinking like, hey, you're filming a video in the city here. You probably have a big camera and you're walking around with it and you're putting it in people's faces. Well, we're not. We actually got a new camera, although I do think it's okay to have a big camera and film here. We've been to like 60 countries and we filmed on our big camera everywhere. But now we got something a little more discreet. I'm curious if any of you guys watching have noticed. I'll put it on the screen here. It's a little DJI Osmo. It's so indiscreet. It's so small. We still can't get over the quality. We also got new microphones as well. So I'm hoping you guys can hear me a little better today. Let us know, for all you guys that follow us week to week, like how the sound and how the video is. What's one thing that's cool about the audio is I can kind of go anywhere now and everything stays the same. The volume's the same. I don't have to yell if I'm further away. So this is like a whole new world for us. We had the same camera for like the last 6 years. We've vlogged on the same camera for 6 years. So yeah, this opens up a whole new can of worms.
So while we're here talking about like walking around with expensive things, with camera equipment, with big cameras, a little bit of a story for you. So basically I only use Facebook for like groups, more or less, to find, you know, like I'll join like a Greece group or a Dominican Republic group, and just so you can learn stuff, get information from other people. There's a Greece one that I'm in, and someone recently posted a story, I think it was a couple of months ago, about something that happened to them here in the city. They were staying at their hotel, they walked outside, and they said they got robbed, and they wanted to warn people about it, but what they lost was the alarming thing. Their passports, $1,200 in USD, a very expensive handbag, jewelry, a bunch of fancy like diamonds and things. So the moral of the story is, this goes for any city. Don't walk around and be super show-offy. Don't try to be like, I have so much money and you can tell that I'm super rich. So don't have tons of diamonds. Why are you walking around with $1,200 in cash in your bag? Leave your passports in your hotel. I know there are certain countries where you're like, I think it's by law, you're supposed to have your passport with you. Honestly, I never do it. I hate having my passport with me. It makes me very uncomfortable. We always just take a picture of it. It's in our phone if we ever need to show anybody. That's all you need. Like, leave your passport in your hotel. Next up, we decided to stop in for some Loukoumades at this very cute shop. We're a little hungry from all this walking around, and Loukoumades is one of the things that you have to eat when you are here in Athens. It is a delicious, yummy Greek treat. They're basically like deep fried dough balls, kind of like a donut, but like they're circles, I guess. You can get all sorts of toppings on them, but we went for the traditional one. I kind of wanted to go for the chocolate. It looked so good, but I know the traditional one is always just so delicious. So that's what we did. It's basically cinnamon and honey on top. We have had them before in another video, but it's been a really long time. And yeah, honey and cinnamon on some fried donuts. It's gonna do the trick today. Let's just go. Do I eat this in one bite? I don't know. I'm gonna try to eat the whole thing at once. Oh my goodness. Well, these things are just dangerously good. It's like they're sent from heaven. Oh my God, Greece and its food. I'm a big fan of all the savory food you can get here in Greece, like all the traditional foods, the kebabs, Slovakia, you name it, but I always forget just how good the desserts are. This is a must if you are coming to Greece, especially if you're coming to Athens. If you're like us, just kind of walking around and exploring, trying to figure out if the city is safe, stop in and get some Loukoumades. Oh, you are not going to regret this if you guys come and try these. I'm going to just eat another whole one. I don't care at this point. This is one of the situations where I'm sad for you guys that you can't smell these, because oh my goodness, that cinnamon honey smell, the dough smell is just, oh, it's so good. I'm gonna try to get some extra honey there that's sitting on the bottom of the bowl. Look at that. Look at that. It's funny, we've been in Greece for like 2 months now, and this is honestly the first time we've had these. Why don't we eat these every day? They're that good. They're so delicious. I love that they're like super duper crunchy on the outside and then softer on the inside. So you do get a little bit of crunch when you bite into it. I wouldn't have expected that. I would have just thought it would be like a donut and just be super, super soft. But the cinnamon on top is really what makes it. And then you get the extra little like sweetness from the honey. This is definitely a sweet treat, so if you don't like really sweet things, you're probably not gonna like this, but I'm telling you, this is one of those must-try things when you're here.
Well, it's a little later now, and we're just walking down one of these really cool graffiti alleys. There's honestly so much to look at here in Athens when you're walking around. I don't get tired of this graffiti, do you?
I don't, and we're actually just making our way into our favorite neighborhood in all of Athens. I always have a hard time saying it. I can never say it quite like the Greeks. Psiri?
I think they go up at the end. Psiri. So if there's any Greeks watching, please do let us know, because we have no idea. But we know the area is Psiri, like your phone, your iPhone. I'm curious if any long-time viewers will remember this piece of graffiti. See how it splits there? It's on 2 different walls, huh?
It's funny because because we filmed in this neighborhood. Was it 2018, the first time we were ever here?
I think it was 2018.
So we have an old video from back in those days, and we actually came down the street. I think we came to this neighborhood, like we weren't even remotely staying near here, but we must have heard about the neighborhood and came through, and I remember actually seeing this and filming this very piece of graffiti back then, and it's still here. I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's really cool. Look, I mean, when you get close to it, it kind of looks distorted, but when you go backwards, it kind of slowly starts to kind of come together. So this is the kind of thing, some people think Athens is weird for this stuff, but I don't think that.
Well, this is the thing about this neighborhood in particular, is that you're going to be walking and come across some really interesting pieces of street art, and then you're going to see tags in other places.
So we've been to Athens many times. I think we said that in the video, but the first time we came here was 2018, and this neighborhood, Psiri, was quite different, huh?
Yeah, it was just starting to become really popular at the time, but I don't remember it being nearly as big or as many places here. This now is like such a cool neighborhood. All the restaurants, it's almost like they compete to be as designed as possible. They're so trendy, so cool on the inside. They're really neat.
We're going to try to take you guys to a place here soon in the video. We might grab a craft beer or something like that and show you some of the insides, because yeah, that's what this neighborhood is all about. Like, it's not quite Plaka, and maybe we'll get to Plaka at some point. That's more touristy there, but here, this neighborhood is totally different, but it's still close to everything. So here we go. It is a Tuesday. I think I said that before, and not every place is busy. That place is not that busy. Behind you is okay.
I know, it's actually a really busy weekend, so it's weird to not see like loads and loads of people out.
We just came over to one of our favorite little watering holes here. This is Tapfield. It's really cool inside. We actually love this place. They play metal music, and yeah, if you guys are watching for a long time, you might not know that I used to be like a big metalhead, and I still to this day like some metal. So I find this place stands out because of that. We're outside, you can't hear the music, plus we got some mics on. They're under here. Maybe we'll talk about that towards the end of the video, because our setup's different now. I know some of you will be curious, but back to the task at hand here, having a craft beer. First, let's try this. I know you guys like when we try some beer on camera. This is a Pilsner, and I think it's from Athens as well.
Yeah, it's definitely not the beer that's on the glass.
No, not that beer. That's just the glass, right? I'll turn this, because I think that's like a domestic beer. No, this is something that's brewed right here in Athens. They told me this is just a tap room, so it's pretty cool that way. But I thought I'd use this kind of moment to talk a little bit about English. Now, I know a lot of you that watch, Greeks watching right now will say, what do you mean? Of course there's English in Greece, and there is, and that's why I'm talking about it. But we do have a big audience back home in Canada and the USA and lots of different places, and honestly, one of the most common questions we get asked is, do people speak English? There's a reason we come back to Greece so much, and it's because it's just so easy to be here. Greeks are nice. They all speak English for the most part. I'd say anybody under 55, 60 even, can speak English. Now, we don't expect to hear English when we're traveling. We've been to, I think I said earlier, like many countries, and it's not something we need. We kind of find it fun sometimes when there's no English and we're all gesturing, you know, try and go into Asia or something like that. And you're going to get in those scenarios, and it can be fun. But in Greece, it's just actually super simple. Most people speak perfect English, so it's going to make your time here a little easier if you need directions. Greeks are nice. I think some people would say, I know Greeks, because back to what we said at the first of the video, a lot of people on the Greek islands say in Athens people are a little bit, I don't know, snobby and a little bit more angry, and they're not going to be helpful. But we find everywhere we go, Greeks are very helpful. They're all super nice, and it's a reason why we keep coming back to this country. Like, this might be now our 5th or 6th or 7th time back in Greece. I think we did an island count, and we're somewhere around 12 or 13 Greek islands, not just Santorini's and Mykonos. So we love it, and I think if you guys watching at home, you'll find it very easy to be in this country. So if you're wondering about English, don't worry about it.
I could be wrong here, but I feel like a lot of people that might end up watching this video are people that perhaps are just traveling for the very first time, maybe leaving North America or their own country for the first time, and they're trying to figure out where to go. And Greece is a really great entry point in that sense, because as Trevor was just saying, it's pretty easy, it's not too much culture shock, and it's a really great country to visit for the first time. And you also might be just trying to decide, like, do I go to Greece? Do I go to Italy? Both amazing countries and very different, both along the Mediterranean. Like, there's so many cool options. I think Athens and Rome get compared a lot, mainly because they have like these old ancient artifacts and like temples and everything, and you can go walk around the city and just see all this ancient stuff everywhere. And in that sense, the cities are very similar, I guess you could say. In general, I find I love Athens so much more, and this is going to be really hard to put into words as to why. Rome, I didn't really feel a connection with. I know a lot of people be like, oh, Rome is so beautiful, it's my favorite city in the whole world. I did not feel like that at all. I didn't dislike Rome, I just didn't really feel like this great connection with it where I do with Athens. I feel like here I loved the contrast of everything here, kind of what we've been talking about throughout the course of the video. Like you can walk around and see the Acropolis, and then you see like a dilapidated building with like all this graffiti and everything. I love that. I personally love that. I love the people here. In Italy, I don't know, it's so hard to explain. It felt like it's just Italian, as weird as that sounds. So if you want to go immerse yourself in it, like pure Italian culture, that's wonderful. If you're only spending a week there, that's also great. But when you're spending more time and you want like a little bit more diversity, I feel like Greece and Athens offers that. Is that a weird thing to say?
You know what's funny? Like we should say this. We've been in Athens now for like over a week and we haven't had Greek food once.
I know, because we spent like 2 months on islands and literally eating Greek food every day. I love Greek food. It's one of my favorite things. But as somebody that grew up in Canada eating different food every night, I can't eat the same thing all the time, and I love coming to a city that has like a zillion different types of food. It has everything.
Well, today was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed kind of coming along with us to, you know, talk about safety and what Athens in general is like. Do you feel safe walking around?
I totally do. I think you need to follow some of the basic principles of like safety in any city that you go to. Know where you're going. Don't just walk down random streets at nighttime. Don't buy drugs, kids. You know, just like the regular stuff. Stay out of trouble and do the normal safety precautions.
Yeah, we've always felt safe in Athens. We're not naive. We know we can get in, you know, into some bad areas, and stuff can happen anywhere, even our home city in Canada, like our hometown in Canada. Bad stuff happens. We're usually not out at night. It's not that late. The time changed here recently, so it just looks like no one's here. But this is, but we're back in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I think it's only 7 p.m. right now. So
it's only 7 p.m. So we're really hoping you guys are enjoying the video. But it was just interesting because like all the Greeks on the islands were telling us like, "God, don't go to Athens. It's not safe." That's actually what prompted us to maybe film a video.
It actually started to make us a little bit nervous because we have been in the city, like we said, multiple times. We know what it's like to walk down a street, you know, especially a street without any sort of businesses on it, and you turn down it at nighttime and you kind of might feel slightly uncomfortable because there's not many people around. It feels a little bit sketchy. So we knew there was like some stuff to be aware of here in Athens, but then when people kept warning us about it, it was like,
we had to like retest it. What we really hope is you guys are going to come here. This is a great city. There's so much here. It's a jumping off point to islands. Don't skip it, because honestly, the international food alone is incredible.
Yeah, and especially if you're looking for like some city life, you're maybe coming to spend some time here and you want to go to the islands, but you want to spend some time in the city. You're gonna love it. So our plan right now is to film one more video while we're here in Athens, and this time we want to concentrate more on why we love this city so much, because hopefully we're getting that across in this video. Like, yes, there are some things to be aware of, but we also love the city.
All right, the last thing we just wanted to touch on is our new setup. So we're looking to you guys, longtime viewers, everybody that gets this far in the video, especially because we're towards the end. We expect it to be a long video. What do you think of the new camera? It's supposed to be better at night.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We don't often film at nighttime, mainly because our old camera wasn't great in the night. So we'll see what this looks like.
This should be better, but we also have new audio. You heard us say microphones. They're actually here underneath our shirt. So when I touch this, you're going to hear some tapping. I'm going to give the camera to Anna here, and we also have this little swing effect. Look at this. So if I touch this, I'll give this to Anna, and I'm going to show you. We have mics on now. I don't know if this is going to be like our main camera setup, but I'll get a bit louder. This is kind of it. They're like these kind of fuzzy things. Right now I can be like, I guess, a super millennial and just talk to it like this. But the idea is we can put them under our shirts. There's a wind muff on the top, and it should sound better in certain situations. The cool thing is, and I said this earlier, I can walk back here, way back here, Anna can stay where she is, and you're gonna still hear me the same. Before, I would have to really, 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 really yell. So this is interesting, but this is not going to be like our final setup. We're looking to you guys to see what you think of the audio. We're going to be tweaking things as we go. All right, we want to thank you guys for watching today. Let us know what you think. Did you feel safe coming along on our journey here in Athens? Does it feel to you like it's safe? Would you come to Athens? I mean, right now there's no tourists on this street, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I hope between this video and maybe our next video, if you were on the fence about whether you want to spend some time in Athens, we can help convince you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think anybody that watches us all the time knows we love this country. We try to be big cheerleaders for it, so we highly encourage you to come here, not just the Santorinis or Mykonoses, they're beautiful, but all the other islands and this city. But enough talking, we need to get some food, and I know we said earlier that we're not eating much Greek food while we're here because we've eaten it for 2 months now. we're off to get some Mexican food. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise shocker for people that know us. We're going to get some tacos.
I know, all you guys that watch us all the time know that we love our Mexican food. That's the plan right now.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Athens, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.